Ladies and gentlemen, if fraud signs are not handled early, ultimately, or decisively in your marriage or relationship, it will lead to the cheating of one of the parties and thereafter the total collapse of your home, your marriage, or your relationship. You ask me a question. How can there be fraud in a marriage? The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3 and verse 5. Verse 3 says, let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence. Hear that? Due. That means for the fact that you are a man and a wife, something is due to you both. What is due the man is due the woman. And what is due the woman is due the man. And that is benevolence. Benevolence is due the both of you. He said, let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence. Verse 5 said, defrauding ye not one another. In other words, where the due benevolence is not rendered, it is a defrauding. Where the wife is not rendering the husband his due benevolence by virtue of marriage, the wife is defrauding the man. Where the man does not render the wife her due benevolence, the husband is defrauding the woman. The Bible says, let both render to themselves due benevolence. What is due them? So that no one will feel defrauded. In the marriage, there can be a fraudster. A husband can be a fraudster in the marriage, and a wife can be a fraudster. I show you an example in the Bible. Adam, when Adam was giving Eve, Adam said, this is bone of my bone, is flesh of my flesh. We are benefiting from each other, supplying nutrient and strength to each other. This is part of my life. He said, therefore she shall be called woman. That means the man and the woman have interconnectivity. And that's what the Bible says, due benevolence. They exchange virtues, qualities. That's what keep them going. Now, but when Eve had come to Adam, something happened. The Bible says that a day came that, the Bible says after they were together, the Bible says, and they were both naked, and none of them was ashamed. That nakedness was beyond just physical bareness. Everything about them was intertwined. They knew everything about themselves. They were in the same place, did the same thing, taught the same way and everything. But on this day, that the serpent was going to be introduced, that an enemy was going to invade that family, it was a day that the man had to be alone and the woman had to be alone. Eve was left alone, not in the garden, but at a spot of the garden. In other words, the marriage was still on, but they were not together. They were still husband and wife, but they were not together. And the moment Eve was alone, the devil could come, not just come around, but could stay and occupy that space. Where you are not giving your partner a due benevolence, there is somewhere else to get it from. Now, Eve had no partner, but the serpent became the partner. Yet, Adam is the wife. You might be the husband or the wife of that spouse of yours, but who is the partner? That's what we're talking about now. Who is the partner? Now, a business partner can be a business partner, but when it's becoming a life partner, it's different. Because when the business partner is not the one giving her due benevolence, which we are going to be looking at, not just sex, but many other benevolence, then that business partner, when business partner is still a partner after business time, when a church coordinator is still a partner after church time, are you following me at all? Where the husband is only a partner during sex. So something else is giving benevolence. That's what introduced the serpent. Now the serpent came and stayed. Now, when the serpent came, it came to one because due benevolence was broken. There was a defraud. This one had busyness. Life get busy. And when life get busy, these things begin to change. But it's something that you must have to work on if the marriage must stay impure and stay glorious. Now, the result of that Satan's visit was that they both lost the glory of God. They both fell. They both fell. They became stripped of God's glory. Now, that was one. The devil showed up, serpent came, and they fell. Now, when God came, they were hiding. When God said, why are you hiding? Have you eaten? Have you fallen? You know what Adam said? He said, the woman you gave me. In other words, he shifted the more blame, separating her the more. What the devil brought was falling down, naked state. But when Adam blamed the wife, there was a more distance. You know what happened? God cursed them. There was another fall there. The fall of Satan coming was the fall of nakedness. The fall of the wife's husband going apart, quarreling and blaming, was now the fall of the curse. The moment the fall of the curse came, they both stopped blaming themselves. When the blame stopped, you know what God did? He killed an animal to cover them up. You can solve that problem of denying yourself due benevolence, and the glory will come back. I just want to tell you here that no matter where you have gotten to right now in your marriage, it can be resolved. That fraud that is going on, stop it. There is a fraud going on. Somebody is defrauding the other. That's why the marriage is beginning to have cracks. What you don't quarrel about before, you are not quarreling. Where you used to understand yourself, you no longer understand. Prayers that used to work are no longer working. Children that used to be doing well are no longer doing well. Bills that used to go, why? Because there is a fraud going on. There is a leaking pipe. Solve it. When Adam stayed away, the serpent came up. They fell, they were naked. When he stayed away the more by casting blame, curse came. When they both stopped staying away and solved their problem, God covered their nakedness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Couples Life. We just began a new series now. Follow me. How not to defraud your marriage. How to solve the problem of the fraudster in your home is what we're looking at. Couples Life is here to build your home, build your relationship, and restore joy and beauty back to your marriage days. Couples Life is based in Cape Town, Nigeria, hosted by Mike Adogame and Wambisa Mike Adogame, the one I call Angel. God bless you. You can reach us online, and if you want us to speak on the specific issue regarding this very subheading, send us a message and we'll be there.